Hi everyone, this is Douglas again. This is episode 8 of Between Two Walls, the life of an international student. Today I have very nice guy. I really admire playing when I was playing against him. I really admired the way he played. He was a forward. I was also playing as a forward at that time, and like anytime we play against each other, like it was a good game. So yeah, I reached out to him trying to get him on here to talk a little bit about his journey here and also talk a little bit about we playing against each other. Because anytime we played against each other, it was like a war. So yeah, I want to know what they used to think about or whatever preparation they used to do before we play against each other. So yeah, Ricardo, I'll give you the floor to introduce yourself first.
Hey, my name is Ricardo Galan. I'm from Germany. I'm half German, half Spanish. And yeah, I've been here in the US since 2021, played for Aquinas College, of course, a lot of times against this boy here.
Yeah.
And then I now just transferred to Bonaventure University. And yeah, just doing my master's right now and yeah, working on that.
Okay, bro. So let's start with how you got here and like the whole journey of you starting to play soccer. What year did you start playing soccer?
So yeah, I started playing soccer when I was 4 years old in Germany. I mean, played basically my whole life since I've been there. And yeah, I mean, the journey here was 2021. It was like kind of a weird time after COVID. But yeah, I got here and I think I've enjoyed my time a lot so far and I've met a lot of great people.
Okay. So let's talk about you playing in Germany. At what level did you play to in Germany?
So I play always like in the league, in the youth leagues under the Bundesliga, what's like the second highest here.
Okay.
It was like teams who are like, with academies. One team didn't have academies, but we always played kind of in the same direction, always pushing to get up to the Bundesliga, but never really made it. I think we finished like 4 or 5 times third and like always close to it, but never made it. But yeah, it was good level of Germany. Like, the football in
Yeah.
Germany is pretty good. So yeah, it was like that. Before that, I've just played in my local team for like 10 years, like just, with my friends and everything. But then I realized, okay, I'm going to go to the next step. And yeah.
And how did you get in contact with Aquinas?
So yeah, during COVID, it was before COVID, to be fair. I was like
Mm.
looking what I'm going to do after like high school in Germany. I want to like still play soccer and everything. And then kind of like I'm randomly like saw the opportunity with the US and then you know how it is, like did like all the things you have to do and like kind of got ready. And then yeah, I was already in contact with coach from Aquinas for a while. Like
Okay.
also like 2020 in the beginning. But then COVID came and I wasn't able to come over. So I had to like wait another year, started to like study in Germany and a little bit like, kind of like seeing what I have another opportunity, maybe like something at home, but like dream always was still like to come over here and like still have like the opportunity to play here.
Yeah. And talking about the visa processes, I know I talked to a lot of people that
hmm
struggle with a lot of visa issues. How was it for you? Was it easy or was it hard? Did you have any difficulties?
Yeah, I mean, at first, like how I said, I didn't come over here because like the US embassy in Germany was closed. So I
Okay.
couldn't come, like I couldn't visit it to do my visa because I would have said I was probably ready to come and I was like excited to come, but you know how it is. They didn't
Yeah.
get you appointments and then it was hard for that reason. But once I got accepted for an appointment, it was a pretty easy process and like, had to go in person, had to do like a little interview. But yeah, at the end of the day, I think it was like pretty good and like came in pretty quick.
When you got here, was it the fall or the spring?
It was the fall
Okay. So you came
21,
right into the season.
right into the season. Yeah.
How was it for you with the transition, trying to adjust
Oh, it was
school?
super hard. It was
Yeah.
super hard at the beginning. It was like a completely like, I don't know how it is for you, but in Germany you have like usually like 4 to 6 weeks of like preseason. So you
Hmm.
actually get ready doing preseason, do a lot and everything. And here we like came back. It was like 1 week running like a lot. And then the second week we had a few trainings and then we already had the first game. So you like kind of had like a pretty like cold start. I would say I wasn't prepared for that, like mentally, but also like physically. So my first year was hard. I had to like adapt to the game. The game is a little bit different. But I
Yeah.
feel like towards the end of the season, it was getting better. But then like we lost to you guys. You weren't there yet, but we lost to you guys in penalties. And
Okay.
yeah, ended that first season. But like, yeah, I was definitely helped me to prepare for my second season.
What do you think you did to adjust to the game?
I think like the biggest thing was just like come in ready. I think like you come in the summer, you come in ready to go, like ready to play basically 90 minutes if you asked right now. And a little bit like I kind of, got to learn the game a little bit, adjust it a little bit.
Mhm.
And yeah, that helped me a lot to like be a little bit more successful. But the second year was, I would say, still a transitioning year. It was better. Like I had like more starters, like started most of the games. but
Mm,
like the scorers were not there yet. You know,
yeah.
goals, assists, and all that.
So let's talk a little bit about the academic part because you coming straight into the season. Some people come in the spring, so like they kind of get a sense of how they're gonna move around it before it gets to the regular season, right? So you coming straight to the fall, and now you just have to go straight into the season with classes and probably working. How were you managing all that?
I mean, at the beginning, it was just like so much things. There was so much to do. Like, I had to do so much on campus with like orientation, ID, like get to know everyone. But at the same time, once that was done, I had like 2 weeks of like just practice with the boys. So we hadn't like, it was literally just playing football. That's it. But
Mhm.
then the moment school started, I was like, oh, wow, I have to actually start balancing a little bit more things, looking for like, make your homework in time and all that like stuff. But I think I was pretty like the German school system is pretty strong, I would say. So it was not
Okay.
like hard school wise. It was more like hard to like balance your time a little bit by yourself.
And did you work in your first year here?
And now I got my what's it called, social security number in my second semester.
Okay. And
So yeah,
how was it working on campus? Was it easy?
I mean it was not easy, especially at the beginning. You took every job you could get. You got like what's it called? We did like facilities, like moving stuff around. So we did that, but like it was a job. You got a job. It was fun and everything. A lot of times it was with my international friends.
Mhm.
So we're like all together doing that. And then, you get to know a little bit like other people, and then you get like maybe a front desk job, maybe like a gym job, like a little bit, I would say not easier, but like it's not in the outside, it's more like inside, you're sitting on a chair.
Yeah. And I came to your anytime we play you guys and we go to like your facilities, like you guys have a great facilities over there, like at Aquinas. Like I always love the facilities you guys got over there. So that job you were doing, was it like maintaining those facilities or something?
It was not as much maintaining, it was more like just working like I was a lot of times working like the women's soccer games and like, letting the
Oh,
other teams in and stuff like that. And then I don't know, I was sitting at the front desk of the weight room. So like, stuff like that a little bit more. And then
okay,
obviously sometimes something had to be moved. Like they asked us, "Hey, can you do that?" And yeah, so yeah, sometimes it was, but most of the time I would say it was more like on front desk.
okay. And let's go a little bit when you got here, right? So when you got here, what would you say was the difference living here than live back in Germany? Like comparing growing up in Germany and coming here, what was the cultural differences?
Okay, I would say Germany and the US is like not similar, but I would say pretty similar as compared to other countries. But it
Hmm.
was definitely still different. You came here, and I feel like the first thing I realized from a lot of Americans, they're very like welcoming, very open. They
Yeah,
want to help you always. Say, hey, if you need this, if you need a ride, whatever. So they like, I really like that. That was very like, different to me. But then you see sometimes they're like very like, like they just say to help you. Like, what? No, they do it, but like they gonna say, "Hey, how you doing?" And then you just want to talk to me, but it's just like, just part of the conversation. So
yeah.
that's a little bit. I would say the American people are a little bit like more superficial, but it's okay. It's still lovely. A lot of like lovely people. I've met so many great people here. So yeah, it was a little bit like different to adjust, but I really enjoyed that.
Let's talking about you really enjoying. Like, did you what was it? Your teammates or was it professors? Was it your coaches who actually helped you settle here calmly, transitioning into all this new culture, new things like new language? I know in Germany speak different language and all that.
So yeah, it was. I would say definitely teammates because we had a lot of internationals, like similar to your old schools,
Yeah.
and we had a lot of internationals. So we kind of were all in the same situation, like you're like away from home. So we like did a lot of stuff together at the same time. So that was always good. And then I also had like I'm half Spanish, how I said, my Hispanic friend group. So it was like very useful to have, like very helpful to have them like be, talk to them in Spanish and your like natural language and all that. So that was, I would say, to my friend groups who helped me a lot.
And what part of the game was different from playing in Germany?
So I would say in Germany it's very like tactical, the games. They're very like, not as much like kick and rush and stuff like that, but they are very technical as well. And yeah, I would say that's the biggest difference. Here, it's a little bit more direct, a little bit more like it goes up and down, not a lot of like, time to rest. There's like, this game is always like going crazy. And then in Germany, sometimes the game like also calms down a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I have a German teammate, and like he was telling me the same thing. So yeah, I think you confirms that. So talk to me a little bit about the food here, because I
Oh, the
heard a
food.
little more about German dishes and all that. So like,
The
Yeah.
food, it's definitely I mean, yeah, it's definitely a thing. Like, first of all, when I came here and I went to like you were like used to like your parents cooking for your mom all the time. So of course that's like a big difference to come here and you're like in a dining hall and you look at the food and half of it looks very like I would say you probably wouldn't eat it.
Yeah.
So it was definitely like hard to adjust. I mean, there's still like I think every one of us likes, like the fast food, like sometimes, like you gotta do it sometimes. But I would say the all like day-to-day food,
Hmm.
man, it's definitely different in Germany, better food, and in Spain especially.
And what would you say has been your biggest challenge since you got here?
So I would say my biggest challenge was like getting like adjusted to like the sport here, like how it's different, like what is needed for that. And then I would say not balancing it, but maybe like yeah, I would say balance your time right. Sometimes also important to do something like off the field and like just disconnect from the sport, from school, just to get your head going again. It's so important in football.
So talking about those all these challenges and all that, and I've seen like every year you were getting better, right? Even when we were
Hmm.
playing against you, like every year, like I remember your last year you were the player of the attacker of the year. So like from your first year to the time you left the WAC and even till now that you played in the D1, right? What would
Hmm.
you say you improved a lot in your game?
It's a pretty good question. I would say I can play a little bit more into my strengths. I know what my strengths and also what my weaknesses are, and I can like kind of use that for me a little bit better, like understanding the game a little bit. And I would say as well, like I get like so much individual training, like finishing inside the box, outside the box, first touch, two touch. Like you get so many reps in, you get so many opportunities like to get on that field again. Like you live on campus, like you're right next to the field, so you can like just like play whenever you want. So I
Mhm.
think that helped me a lot just to be able to like always play, always get touches in, do a lot of individual work as well. So yeah, I would say like that helped me to improve my finishing, improve me my first touch, my like shielding and stuff like that.
Yeah, because the me, I was having a similar issue because like when I came, like my finishing was so bad, and I was playing as a
Mhm,
nine. When I was
mhm,
at Tech, I played as a nine, but when I came here, I dropped into the midfield, like where I was playing back in the academy days. So like
mhm,
when I here playing the midfield, I was super comfortable, but
mhm,
when I was playing as a nine, like I had not played as a nine growing up,
mhm,
so my finisher wasn't good. Like I dropped in to help the build up and all that, but like when it gets to
mhm,
the finishing part, that was my hardest part. So like every time I was trying to find myself around the box, because I know that would be the easiest way to score. So
mhm,
like
mhm,
always
mhm.
being good at assessing yourself and knowing your weakness and your strength and leaning onto your strength was always a great thing. I'm glad you were able to figure that out. So let's go to when we were playing against you guys, right? So like I'm not gonna lie to you. Playing against you guys in the conference is one of the games I loved. Like I know we played against you. I played against Aquinas for like 4 times. I scored two, assisted one. Yeah. So like me playing against you guys was always a great game because I know it's gonna be physical. Like the intensity gonna be at the same pace to the last whistle. How was it
Yeah,
like for you guys?
yeah, exactly. I mean, you said it. It's always before the schedule comes out, you see, oh, you're playing that game against like that weekend against Indiana Tech, or you're playing that at home. So that was like the big games you were excited for. You were excited to watch, like play these games, be part of these games, and you always knew no matter like we could maybe be sometimes struggling, but we knew we're playing in the other tech. We have to be our 100% there. I feel
Uh,
like for you, same as like like it was like these games of the season where you get you really excited. Like the coach was
yeah.
excited. You can feel it in training. It was a different intensity. Everyone wanted to play. So I would say, how you said, it was always a special game, and just playing at your place, playing at our place. I mean, we had some hard losers, like always tight games. It was always
Yeah.
tight games. We had some hard losers, like lost to you guys a few games. We had a pretty big win at your place as well. But like, it's how kind of that like that makes like the rivalry so interesting.
What was it? How was that feeling when you won the league on our field?
Oh man, that was the best feeling. Because how I told you, the first 2 years were hard. I was not like there. But I felt like the third year, that was, I would say, our best year. A lot of
Mhm.
people graduating and everything. We didn't bring in too many players. It was pretty much like two or three new guys, but they were super helpful. And it was like, I mean, we tied before we played at your place, the last game
Yeah.
of the season. We tied at home and dropped to second place. And our plan was like winning obviously at home and then go to your place and then play for a tie. Try to
Yeah.
tie the game. But then we tied under the week. We missed a penalty in like the last 5 minutes to win the game and everything. And then we like dropped to second place and we're like, all right. And I remember saying like to our coach, we're like talking about it, it was like, now we have to play offensive. Now we have to go for it, you know?
Yeah.
Like surprise you guys a little bit with that. And I think it worked out great. We were like so sharp. Everyone was like so locked in. And I mean, you know, our rivalry, winning at their field,
Yeah.
the title was a great feeling, man. It was a great feeling.
Yeah, I mean, like that really caught us by surprise. But like, yeah, I'm glad we were able to get a comeback. Then I think the next weekend or something, and like,
It was 2 weeks after or something like that. Yeah.
yeah, that was good too. I mean,
Yes.
we didn't even thought we were gonna lose at home. That was the craziest part. Like, yeah, we thought it was at home, so like we're gonna get it done. And like, yeah, I mean, you guys played good too, so we will not take anything away from you guys. But like, as I
Yeah.
said, those schedules were like one of the like the games that after you see the schedule, like okay, this week, like no matter what, you need to be ready for those weeks. So like
Hmm.
to be honest, I love playing against you guys, and like you per se, like you were a great forward. Like we follow each other on Instagram, and like we've been Instagram friends for like I think 3 years or something now. So
Oh,
like
probably. Or even longer.
yeah, well more longer. So like that's what I'm saying. Like for me, I watch a lot of college games. I follow a lot of college guys that I don't even know, you know. But like I
Hmm.
play against you, okay, this guy is good. Like I like to see more of him, you know, so I follow them and all that. I follow a lot of people. So yeah, you're one of those guys that I really admire and like I really like watching you. So yeah, I'm glad we were
Appreciate it,
able to
man.
share the field together, play against each other for like
100%, man.
yeah.
I appreciate it. I
So
mean, I can only give it back. I mean, you said it, you scored a few goals, important goals against us. Remember, I think it was, I don't know if it was your first year, it was definitely my second year. You
yeah,
scored at our field to win 1-0 the game. And
yeah,
I remember it was important for us to like get up in the table a little bit. But yeah. And then I think the last year you scored the 2-1 winner when you guys won at home, the league game as well.
yeah,
So yeah, I have definitely some memories about you. For me,
yeah,
negative. For
man. But
you, very positive, man. Good
yeah,
play
bro.
always. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good play against some good guys. Those games are always in my mind, yo. So yeah, let's go. Let's talk a little bit about the US. So when you got here, have you been able to explore the place? Which places have you been to, and like, how are you loving it?
So yeah, I mean, you know how it is in the fall when you're in season, you never like really have time to explore anything or go anywhere. But like I've definitely like, went to Florida. I wish I would have traveled a little bit more, but I went to like Mexico, Panama City and stuff like that. So I went to like a different countries as well.
Okay.
So that was a lot of fun where I probably if I would have been in Germany, never got to. And I mean, I saw Michigan, I'm now in New York. I mean, you kind of see just from playing in all these places a lot of like different cities, yeah.
And talking about you in New York right now, right? I want to know the difference. So you played in both NAIA and D1, right? What
Exactly,
would you
yeah.
say is the difference between these two organizations?
I would say it's just more professional. You have just different facilities, different opportunities. Like we fly to away games sometimes. Like it's like crazy to think about it. I would say the level is from the top teams in like NAIA. I would say with the average D1 is not much. Like there's a difference, but I would say it's more like a physical because they can put just so much more work in, so much stuff more. So I would say it's more physical, but I don't think the difference like with the mid schools is like crazy. I think if you go like to the very good schools, and like the higher ones, there's definitely a big difference, technical, tactical, physical. But I think like especially in mid schools, I think NI had always a good level.
Okay. I mean, that's really good to know. Talk to me right now. Let's get more academically right now, because bro, we are always a student first before an athlete, right? So now, how is school going?
Oh, it's going very good. Like I was I complete my bachelor's a year ago almost. Yeah, it was a year, December 2024.
Hmm.
And then I did start my OPT because I thought I was done with football, like no eligibility anymore. And somehow I got another year and then ended my OPT and went for my master's. Now I already finished my first semester and my master's, have just a second one to go and then I'm done with that. And yeah, it's pretty much.
And what's the goal after that?
I want to obviously find a job. I would like to work in sports.
Okay.
So we'll see how that goes. Yeah.
Trying to stay here or you going back home?
I'm open for everything. So yeah, we'll see. Trying to go back home because that's where my family and everything is. But like
Mm.
never say never.
Yeah. So talking about getting closer to family and all that, you coming to the States, was that the first time you left home?
Yeah, it was the first time I left home for like longer than a month or something like that. I mean, I came to the US for like 3 weeks doing like a school exchange. I had a great time. I've been
Hmm.
in Spain a longer time, but without like, with my family, probably, yeah, it was the longest time away from home.
And how did you deal with that?
I mean, yeah, you get used to it. You kind of get used to it. And I always call my family at least 2 or 3 times a week, like FaceTime, sometimes a quick call. So I try like obviously stay in touch, but it's not the same than being home. So it was not always easy, but I feel like I'm a person who likes to explore, see new things. So yeah.
So talking about, I know we're talking about you leaving home for the first time, and it seems like you were able to deal with it right in the right way, right? So I know a lot of guys, international students here, dealing with a lot of problems, and like one that I feel like that one there's one major problem that I feel like we don't really talk about it a lot is mental health, right? We go here like, and we as men, we feel like everything we gotta like just let it like be tough and just deal with it, right? And some people can't deal with it, and I want to know, like, did you have such problems, and then how did you go about with it?
I wouldn't say I had like problems with it. I was probably, I would say my first semester, I felt like, when like football is not going good, when you're like first semester away from home. So I would say my
Yeah,
first semester was like for that, like being away from home, the hardest one. But then, like at some point you get like your own lifestyle, not lifestyle, but like you get your own routine going. You get to know your people, you get to know the school, what you can do. And then you get to know like a routine when you call your parents. So you feel like obviously still connected and everything to them. But yeah, and then sometimes it is, I mean, how I said, like you said, mental health, like when it's maybe not going everything your way in football, when school is hard, sometimes important just to have just a break, the right people around you. That's, I would say, the important people. For me, it was always very helpful. I had like friends outside of football, outside of soccer. It was always good because when I like was with them, there was like football was never like, I mean, it was a topic, but it was not like a topic like, like when you're with your
yeah.
teammates and everything. So
Mhm.
sometimes just getting away a little bit from the sport helps you to be like more focused, more ready again.
That's great. I'm glad that you were able to find ways around it. Like, I know people are dealing with it, and I'm glad that you weren't a victim to that. So I'm really happy for that for you, bro. So yeah, we are getting to the point where I will just wrap this up, but I want you to say something to the viewers and people that are willing to take this opportunity. Some people don't even have any idea that there's a life out here in the States where you can come here, play, and still get your studies, you know? So like
Mhm,
anybody who
mhm.
want to take this opportunity, or people who don't know what to do after high school, like whatever words you have for them, bro, you can share it so that people can take a lesson out of it.
Yeah, I would say if you're like ready to like leave your country behind, leave your like friends and family, and get a little bit out of your comfort zone, I would say it's the perfect opportunity. You're away from home, but you have the best like facilities, you have a good education and everything at the same time, and then playing a sport where like people are actually like coming here, supporting you, your school, you have a own different community. I would say if you're ready to do this, then definitely like look into going to the US and like trying to play a little bit. And yeah,
All
I
right,
would say
bro.
take the opportunity.
All right, man. I really appreciate you, and I'm glad when I tested you, you gave me like the green light that you'll be joining me. I appreciate you a lot, man. I'll go ahead and wrap this up, but yeah, thank you, bro. Thank you very much for joining me today. Yeah.
Of course, thank you so much, man.
All right, bro. I'll hit you up on Instagram later, man.
Okay.
All right.